morning. This is Madeline from Madeline's Craft Room. And today I'm going to teach you a stamping technique. Well, how am I going to do that? I am basically going to be using one stamp set. And as you can see, I have the Ocean Friends, one of my favorites. Anything nautical or with the ocean, I love. But I'm hoping that you can join me today. Yeah, I am. If you don't know me, I am Madeline from Madeline's Craft Room, and I am from Parksville, Vancouver Island, Canada. And so if you're catching me on the live, do comment and let me know you're there. And if you're catching me later on the replay, let me know as well, as it's always so good to see you pop in, and also on YouTube. Yeah, I'd love to have you join me today, as I was inspired by a friend, another demonstrator stamping friend, um, actually from Port Alberni, and that is Val. And this was from quite a few years ago. Val makes lovely cards. And I'm going to see if I can put this closer so you can see. This is the stamping here in the background. And then there's a different stamp that she has stamped with the jars. And then the flowers at the top. And so we are making this background all from stamping. And I love the colors. It's so muted with what she has done. It's very, very beautiful. So thank you, Valerie Barker. It's a great card, and it's given me an idea. And of course, with the ocean, I want to use one of my favorite colors, and that's Azure Afternoon. And I decided not to go more subtle. I want it to look a little bit more bright. And I have chosen to use the full crab. In this set, they do have the two set stamping, but I am actually going to just use this one for now. So what we're going to do here is take the crab. I mean, you could use the lobster or any of these, but I am going to take the crab and I am going to stamp full strength. Has anybody else done stamping completely in the background? I have many times done something just kind of randomly with one or two of the same, but this one's a little bit more structured in the fact that we are going to be placing these specifically on the top and specifically on the bottom. So we're going to we have to overlap his little legs a little bit, but that's okay. I think he'll forgive me. So we're going to just not go too high. And because I'm doing this on my glass mat, I'm getting nice even stamping. Oh boy, in my temporary location, I'm using a folding table, and you would not have that result. You really need something very firm. What I have done when I've been in small situations, and that was thanks to Miran, another demonstrator who shared that idea, is she just bought a little glass, what do you call them? Kind of like a coaster at the dollar store. And that's how she was able to have it for us at the demonstrator meeting, so that we could have some even stamping. So now there are two bubbles in this set, and I'm going to use both of them. When you're using a combination of two stamps, always use the bigger one first, because you're going to randomly put these. And I'm also going to randomly move my card around so that I don't have the bubbles in the same location. But we want to be able to start with the bigger, and then that way you can work to smaller bubbles as we work around it. So let's see, maybe one more over here. Okay, so then now I'm going to take this smaller bubble, and you could choose to make this one lighter if you want, but I'm going to just do them all in one color. So let's see. kind of think about where you're putting your bubbles. You could put them closer or not. You can just choose to do whatever you like. I'm going to make quite a few bubbles here. Well, sometimes I move the stamp, sometimes I move the paper. Let's see, put one more in here, maybe one more in here. Oh, move it around. And I think we need one in the corner there, just so that it doesn't look blank. Okay, so now we have, I'm going to leave that aside for just a minute. Now I have, of course, the Azure Afternoon, which I love that card base color. And what we're going to do is we're going to just adhere this onto here. Now, Valerie did use a ribbon, and I would use a ribbon, but I'm in a temporary location and I don't have all my ribbon. So I'm going to show you over the next month some ideas that when you don't have all your products with you, how you can find ways to be able to make it work. So because I'm not using the ribbon, I can put my adhesive on the back here now. Otherwise, if you were doing the ribbon, of course, you would want to make sure that you have the ribbon on your paper first and then adhere. So that all the ugly bits are on the back. Okay, so we're going to put this like this. That's the thing with the glue. Yep, that looks good. We get a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so there we have some crabs and bubbles. But I want a definition. And so because I don't have the ribbon, I am going to choose a strip of paper, which would look just like the ribbon, right? So let's see, I got a bigger one and I got a thinner one. Which one? I think we're going to go with the thicker one. So again, we're going to put some glue on here. And I am choosing to make this one all with one color. Valerie, other than, of course, the flowers on the top, she did the same thing. And I think when you're trying to make it as a background, I don't know, that's my personal opinion, but I think it kind of looks nice when you can keep it to the same color. Oh, easy. Forgot to trim it. That's okay. Okay, so now we put that. Oops, I got some glue. There is my floss. Wipe that off. That's what's so nice about the glass mat. Okay, make sure that's straight. I think we are. Maybe a smidge down. Okay, now that's the card base and the background. But now we are going to make a crab for a little template and our label in the front. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to do the same thing. So we are going to take the crab and we are going to stamp off. Actually, probably we'll just use a paper. Have to make another mess and wipe up. So we're just going to stamp off. And now that we stamp off, we want to put that on, I think we're going to angle it so that we have mostly the front claws. Okay, so now I am stamping off. And now is where we're going to use that detailed for the two-step stamping. So I am not going to stamp off this time. You do the background, and then now you're going to come over with the detailed part. And with this particular one, I find because the crab legs are so thin, it is important to match up the crab legs, and then the other kind of falls in suit. So we're going to ink that up. And there we have our cute little crab. And I am going to close this up now and bring my card in. Actually, before I do that, I am using the squares actually from the Stylish Shapes. I love this set because it's just one that I grab so often. It can be used for so many things. So a very versatile set of dies. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on there. And now I'm going to put it onto my crab, or onto my crab onto my piece. Okay, like that. And then now I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. Okay, so we'll just put it on here like that. I like to always do one in the middle too, just so it doesn't fall or sag in the middle. Okay, I'm just going to put those down on my glass mat. That's what's so nice about it. You can just slide her off. Okay. Now, of course, if you had a smaller object and you wanted to put a sentiment on there too, I guess I could have done that. Actually, yeah, I'm thinking, another thing I could have done is I could have taken like, thanks so much, and I could have stamped that on top, but I'm not. I am going to do the crab. And where am I going to do it? I think I am going to place him here, but I need to make sure that that is straight. So, yep, I think that looks good. About the same distance here. And I have purposely not lined this up. Quite often when I do this, I will line it up there, but I'm not going to this time as I feel I kind of want it down a little bit. Okay, so here we have the bubble stamped on the top, and now we have the crab, and then we have the showcase of the two-step stamping of the crab on the front. And again, I don't have a big selection because I am not in my actual craft room. I'm in my temporary craft room. Oh boy, these days. But that's okay. I'm helping my son. So what we're going to do is I brought my rhinestones because if you are going somewhere and you don't have much room to pack things, or you don't have many supplies at the beginning, if you get rhinestones, you can color them with our blends, and you can make it work for any kind of card. So where did I put my pick? I've lost. Oh, right here under the dimensionals. All right. I'm going to show you another card that I've made with this stamping technique. But we're going to take this. So it might be a little bit wet, so I'm trying to use the picky part. Usually I use the putty part of the wonderful Pick-a tool, but I want to make sure that I don't get the ink off of here. Let's see. I think we're going to put one over there, and then the other colored one, where should we put it? Should we? No, that's too close. No, I think we're going to put that down here. There we go. Threes. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm sorry, my lighting isn't as good in my as my regular setup, but you can see here how we've got all the different stamps in the background and Mr. Krabby. And then, of course, that's Azure Afternoon. I thought, okay, well, like Valerie had done this with the lighter colors, how about I try Balmy Blue? And I was thinking, okay, Balmy Blue is pretty subtle. Well, I was actually surprised how dark it was, because I'll show you when I started stamping full strength, that's how dark it was. And I went, oh, that's not what I'm going for. So I decided to do it this way, which I stamped off with the Balmy Blue. So again, different ways that you can do it. And I put the bubbles, and this was not on purpose. This is how we can fix our oops. I actually put it so the card was backwards. And I thought, no, it's a different way to do it. And you know what? When we're stamping, we can do that. We can be creative, and no one would have ever known that's what I had intended to do the other way. But here we go. And I also did, oops, and I had covered it up this time, but I had accidentally stamped one. And so then I actually purposely made three. And now I realize it's under the lobster. But it's okay. And look at this lobster. It is can you see even these little fine, like the detail on that stamp is just beautiful. And I chose to use the essential nested dies for that one. So it takes up a little bit more space, but you can see it just gives you more ideas of how you can use that technique. And then, of course, here's our card from Valerie. And so thanks, Valerie, for the card. This is going back. I don't think there's a time on here, is there? Nope. But that's going back probably at least 5, 6 years. But absolutely lovely card. So there we go. And of course, I know quite a few of you have the beautiful ocean friends. And this way it gives you some more ideas of how you can use your stamps. We didn't use too many dies. All I used this time was the dies for the template, but great way to be able to use our stamps. So thank you for joining me either now or later on the free replay. And we'll see you next Tuesday. I will be posting on Monday the card measurements and what you will need as we will do live stamping create together. Let's create together on Tuesday. And then I will be back again next Thursday for our live stamping, which we did a technique this time. So thanks, ladies. Bye for now.